Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Whomever Allah guides can't be misguided, and whoever Allah allows to be misguided can't be guided. Peace and blessings to you, brothers and sisters. Today I want to do this book review. This is a follow-up on the book review I did earlier when I ordered a book on Amazon, thinking it was one title and it was a different one. However, I'm able to use both books. There's some information in one book that complements the other. But I wanted the book on Bill L. Phillips, and I ordered that book, and this was the cover, and it was listed for Bill L. Phillips. However, it wasn't Bill L. Phillips's book. It was another book. This is Bill L. Phillips's book. Just a booklet. It's not very big. It's maybe 100 and, I don't know, 30 pages, 31 pages. But it has some interesting things, and I wanted the view of Bill L. Phillips on dreams. So, you know, it looks like a lot of it right here before it gets to, you know, what you see. That's chapter 4. You have a whole list in here of dream interpretation. It's a big subject. It's not for just somebody to go at, you know, and say, hey, I'm going to interpret dreams. It almost is on the level of like a fortune teller, which would be shirk, you know. Dreams can be interpreted. I had a reoccurring dream, and that's why I was interested. The dream kept coming back and back and back, and I think I got to the bottom of it, so I don't have that dream anymore. That's amazing to me, because I was getting that dream 3 and 4 times a week for a few weeks. It was driving me crazy. I said, what is this dream? And I ordered these books, and I got this book, like I said, instead of this one. And well, we got it all straightened out. Amazon started its business with books. All right, in the beginning, Amazon was a book company, and they sold many hundreds of thousands of books. It was a good business. For people like me that doesn't have a bookstore around the corner to get good books at, it's a blessing to me. Amazon stands in back of their stuff. You know, I had this problem with this book right here, and called them up, and they straightened it out. It was the seller that had it listed wrong, and whoever filled the order just pulled that cover and threw it in a package and sent it on to me. But I did get the right book, and I'm glad about that. That's one thing that's good about Amazon. You can get things overnight, sometimes a day or two, very fast. I mean, the delivery time is very fast. So I was completely pleased afterward. Not so much in the beginning, because here I am with that dream, and I'm still wondering, what is this thing? And I wanted to be able to know something about how to interpret dreams. Whatever it was, whatever the dream was, it didn't come back after I kind of nailed it down what it was. So I'd like to recommend Amazon for books. I live in an area that doesn't have an Islamic bookstore. I don't even know where there's one around this area of any size where you could buy anything at all. Usually a bookstore will sell books and Islamic books and tapes and videos and clothing, and nothing around this area. For some of you entrepreneurs that will want to start something, there's some pretty good sized around, pretty good sized mosques around here, where people are buying things online or from somewhere else. So keep that in mind. There's another book that I want to talk about. It's a book I had a long time ago, and I I sold my library when I moved into an RV. This was, way back in the early 90s. I had graduated from college and I had a library, and I probably had about, I would say probably about 1,400 volumes. So I had some commentaries, sets, and uh, extensive theologies, many books, more than I could read, in fact, more than I did read. But I sold them. I called up Pensacola Christian College, and they came and they bought the whole shimoly from me. Gave me a halfway decent price. I mean, it wasn't the best, but compared to what I paid for them, but it was decent. And they have all my books over there now at Pensacola Christian College. Another word about Amazon. Amazon, you can buy anything on Amazon. I bought my Duraslam Hadith on Amazon. Uh, you can buy clothing on Amazon. I bought this thobe I'm wearing. You can buy all kinds of things. And you can buy it the same day or the next day. One thing about buying books on Amazon, you'll see just to give you a little tip on it, because I buy a lot of stuff from there. They'll have the actual book price up here, which may be $30, say, for a book. But then you'll go down and you scroll down a little bit in there, and it'll say a used book. And then they'll have the quality and condition of the books. And some of that's right and some of it's not so right. But there will be a big savings there. I mean, to say the book is $30, you might get that book for $7. I've done things like that. This book I'm holding right here, Kingdom of the Cults. This is a $40 book, okay? It's over the price of what's printed onto it, but that was listed at $40 on Amazon. $29.99 is what's listed on the book. But then give consideration that this is not a new book. This is an old book that's been reprinted. So I got this book for under $10. And it said good condition. This book was never used. Never used. It's brand new. It came from a seller in Tampa, Goodwill in Tampa, that puts books online. And I got it within a few days. Very good book, $40 book, under $10. I can't remember exactly what it was with tax, but it was under $10. So that's quite a savings, 75% savings on this book alone. So with my hadiths, I don't know. The hadiths seem to hold their value, and you can't find any that are used, like Muslim and Bukhari. I couldn't find any used sets, so I had to pay full price for those, which were reasonable for 7, 8 volumes, 9 volumes. Wasn't a whole lot of money. So I got a lot of reading, probably more reading than the old man is going to be able to do. But anyway, this Kingdom of Cults, I wanted this book back because when you're out there, and I always want to say that, when you're out there and you're talking to people, you need to know what group they belong to. I can't stress that enough. That is the first question you basically ask, is what group are you affiliated with? Do you go to Baptist? Are you Catholic? Usually they'll tell you pretty soon in the conversation, but if they don't, you need to know, because there's a certain amount of groups that are considered cults, and these are considered cults by the mainline denominations, because they believe some things that are peculiar just to them, different than what the mainline denominations believe. So let me give you an example of some of those. One of them might be Mormonism, okay? Another one might be Jehovah's Witness, Christian spiritualism, Christian Science, Seventh-day Adventist. All these are considered cults. So you want to read about them? Here they are in here. I may do some videos on some of the cults. It's just impossible to get to all of them, but some of the ones that you're likely to run into would be Jehovah Witness, and depending if you're up north, Michigan, you'd be running into a lot of Seventh-day Adventists, Mormons, just about all over. It's one of the largest groups. So all of these make up Christianity, but these are fringe Christian groups. We're going to talk about them maybe later in some upcoming videos. So I wanted you to know about this book. Now, this book was written, this book right here was written by, I can't know if you can see it, Walter Martin. Now, Walter Martin, let me read his credentials, because it'd be interesting for you to know where he comes from. Walter Martin held 4 earned degrees, having received his master's degree from New York University and his doctorate from California Coast University in the field of comparative religions. Okay, so he's an authority on comparative religions, religious groups. He's an author of a dozen books and a half dozen booklets and many articles. He was internationally known, and here's where I heard of him for one of the first times. He was internationally known as the Bible Answer Man. I don't know if you remember that program, but it used to come on Coast to Coast on the radio. At the time I was driving trucks, so I had, the radio on and I was listening. But people would call in with questions. So he was the Bible Answer Man. And that was pretty popular for a few years in the United States and Canada. And he's also founder and director of Christian Research Institute. Now, Dr. Martin died in 1989, and I think he died of a heart attack. But I actually seen him for the first time on TV. I don't know, maybe some of you remember it, maybe some of you probably won't, depending how long you lived in this country. But there was a show that came on, and it was called the John Ankerberg Show. Now, he was the guy with the silver hair, and he always was dressed kind of spiffy with a suit, a black suit and tie. He always had he was a fundamentalist, by the way. So he was a Bible-believing Christian. Kind of like ultra-right Bible-believing Christian as well. So he had Dr. Martin on one time, and they were doing a debate. There was a debate between him and Mitch Pacwa. Now, Mitch Pacwa is a Jesuit priest, and he's also affiliated with EWTN now. I don't even know if he's still conducting duties as a priest or not. I know he had a heart attack some time ago and was hospitalized. I don't know how he fared with that, if he came out where he was able to continue his work or not. But you'd see Mitch Pacwa traveling all over the world. He's been to Jerusalem and various places, and he's done various debates with different people. And if you're interested in this debate, you can go on YouTube and you can Google Mitch Pacwa and Dr. Martin debate, and it should come up. There was one debate that he did, and it was interesting. There's some short versions of it. Somebody had chopped it up into pieces. I don't know why they didn't, upload the whole hour and a half or whatever it was. But the John Ankerberg Show, and I thought that was interesting. I thought that he had a lot of knowledge at the time, and that's why I bought this book. He's certainly done a lot more research in cults and that area than I have. So I thought I would pick up on some of his stuff. Necessary that people know what other people believe. Absolutely bottom line. You're going to get nowhere with anybody unless you know where they're coming from. It explains a lot. It explains a lot of the questions they have, because they're going to test their belief by asking you questions too. What do you believe about this, and what do you believe about that? And then they're thinking in their mind, well, just how does that line up with what I believe? So it's important. It's important to know. All right, I'm going to conclude today. This is the kind of update on that first book review I did. I didn't do many book reviews. Only did the one, but it didn't go well. So here's the update onto it, and everything is fine now. So I'm glad to say, inshallah, alhamdulillah. What we need to do in the future is probably teach give a few talks about cults, because they're so. If you come to this country, you're probably going to run into more people that are not mainline exactly, depending on where you live. Now, I said Michigan. Michigan has the biggest population of Seventh-day Adventists probably in the country. It also has the biggest group of Muslims in the country. So you're going to be nose to nose to these people most of the time. So you need to know what they believe and why they're called a cult. Why do people call them a cult? I think that would be interesting to find out. So stay tuned, and we'll get to that one of these days. I can't say exactly when, but it's coming up. So if you want to give me a question and you don't want to post it underneath the video, you can also use my email. And American Islam, that's all one word, AmericanIslam.ed@gmail.com or .ed@yahoo.com, AmericanIslam.ed@yahoo.com. And shoot me an email, something maybe you don't want everyone to read. Be a good idea not to post something like that, to just send it by email. So I hope as time progresses that we're able to put more of these videos out. Kind of pressed for time, more or less. I'm running around all the time. So it's a struggle to put out a video or two a week, but so far I did pretty many videos in a month. In 2 months, 2.5 months, I got 24, or 3 months I got 24 videos, which is not a bad average, you know what I'm saying? I hope they got some content. I hope that you enjoy them. I hope you get something out of them. That's the purpose of them. But the biggest purpose is that you watch these videos and get interested in going further with the study in that area. That's the mission I have. That you not only just watch the video, but that you are able to take and pick up that topic, that subject, and do a little research on your own. You won't really learn something well until you start to research it for yourself. And I noticed in my life, you can go through school and answer the questions, do the memorization, answer the questions, and pass the test, and forget everything that you learned. And that's exactly what a lot of people do. But when you go back and you start to teach these subjects, these things are in your mind better. And that's what I want you to be able to do. Okay? I want you to be able to go out and I want you to be able to answer these questions that people have. So that's it for today. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. We wish you well. We wish the blessings of Allah on you and your family, and may you prosper. Salams.